Have you ever stopped to think about how all the stuff you own actually gets to you? Well, there's this one job, a job you've probably never even heard of, that's pretty much the secret ingredient keeping the global economy from just stopping. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on this hidden role that keeps the literal engines of commerce running. All right, so let me ask you this. Picture one of those enormous container ships out in the middle of the ocean. It's basically a floating city, right? A little self-contained world. But how does that city get its supplies? Where do they get their groceries, their spare parts? Anything, really. And that right there, that's the central problem we're talking about. These ships are like these little isolated bubbles, always on the move, always using up resources. They're in this constant state of needing things just to keep on chugging along. I mean, just try to imagine it. You've got a crew of, say, a few dozen people, living and working on that ship for months at a time. They're thousands of miles from the nearest convenience store. They can't just run out for a bottle of water or a new wrench. The logistics of it, it's just massive. So who on earth solves this huge problem? Well, the answer comes from a really old profession that has this incredibly modern, high-stakes role. Let's meet the ship chandler. Okay, so what is a ship chandler? Think of them as the ultimate personal shopper for a giant ship. They're the one-stop shop, the single point of contact for a vessel to get everything it could possibly need. We're talking food, equipment, engine parts, all of it delivered right to them. They are, quite literally, the ship's lifeline to the shore. And who needs them? Well, pretty much every single major vessel out on the water. You've got your massive bulk carriers hauling grain, you've got the container ships that are the backbone of our supply chain, even those giant oil tankers, and the powerful little tugboats that guide them into port. They all, every single one, depend on this service. Okay, so now for the fun part. What exactly is on a ship's shopping list? The scale and the sheer variety of what these chandlers deliver, it's probably going to surprise you. So on one hand, you've got the absolute basics. You know, the stuff that keeps the crew alive and well. We're talking provisions to feed everyone for weeks, maybe months at sea. Fresh fruits, veggies, meat, all that good stuff. The essentials for life on board. But then, on the other hand, a ship might desperately need a very specific, custom-ordered engine part. And getting that part on time is, well, it's everything. A single day's delay for a big container ship can cost over $100,000. So the chandler handles it all, from the totally mundane to the absolutely mission-critical. You can really see the range when you break it down like this. Provisions, that's the ship's grocery run. Deck and engine, that's its industrial-strength hardware store. You've got ropes, paint, safety gear, you name it. Then cabin stores, that's all the daily living stuff like toiletries and cleaning supplies. And of course, bonded stores. Those are the morale boosters, things like cigarettes and chocolate. It's a supermarket, a hardware store, and a duty-free shop all rolled into one and delivered to your doorstep. Or, well, your deck. So how does this incredibly complex logistical dance actually play out? Well, it's a 24/7 operation that runs with, like, military precision. It has to. The whole process is surprisingly straightforward, but it's all about speed. The ship's agent sends over a request list. They call it a requisition. The chandler fires back almost instantly with a quote and a delivery time. And once that's confirmed, it's a race against the clock to get everything sourced, packed, and ready for when that ship pulls in. And this number right here, this says it all. 24/7, 365. Global shipping never sleeps. It doesn't take weekends off, it doesn't stop for holidays, so neither do the chandlers. A ship could roll in at 3 a.m. on New Year's Day, and you better believe its supplies are going to be there, ready and waiting. The whole system is built on that promise of just always being available. And that flexibility is so important. I mean, if a ship is docked right at the berth, easy. A truck can just pull up alongside. But what happens if the port is jammed and the ship is stuck waiting miles offshore at what's called the outer anchorage? No sweat. The chandler just loads everything onto these specialized service boats and zips out to make the delivery right there in the open water. Okay, so let's zoom out a bit. Why does this one job matter so much in the grand scheme of things? Well, to put it bluntly, without ship chandlers, the entire global supply chain would seize up. It would grind to a halt. This quote from a chandler really nails it. It's all about preparation and execution. By keeping common items in stock and having their own transport ready to go, they just eliminate delays.
And in the world of shipping, time is literally money. On-time delivery isn't just a goal, it's the only goal. When you get right down to it, the ship Chandler is the unseen engine of trade. Their reliability prevents crazy expensive delays. They make sure the quality of everything meets super strict international standards, for safety and things like that. Their efficiency in handling customs for a critical part can literally save a voyage. And their flexibility, delivering anytime, anywhere, just means the system works, no matter what. They're the ultimate problem solvers for the high seas.
And that's a wrap on our explainer. It really makes you think, doesn't it? The next time you see a product that's traveled halfway around the world, you'll know about this invisible network of ship chandlers that helped make that whole journey possible. And it just leaves you wondering, what other invisible jobs are out there, quietly keeping our entire world moving?